You're listening to the Anime Brothers Podcast, an anime podcast that is possessed by a vengeful spirit that also strips us down to our tidy whities when it activates. My name is Ken Takakura, but you can call me Maddie. I am still an awkward fellow after all, and I am joined with the man whose imagination pilots this Buddha Mecha podcast. It's the inaccurate Earthworm.
Yeah, that is me. I've waited all my life for this. All of my specific life choices, diet, exercise, all of those things have led to me piloting a house robot that's shaped like a Buddha.
It is very true. If you've seen this guy's resume, as I have seen, because he reminds me every single week of everything he's done, that is on his resume. In fact, it's the only thing on his resume. I don't know why he shows it to me every week. But guess what? You're here. I hope you're here every week. If you're not here every week and this is your first time here, then welcome. We're the Anime Brothers Podcast. I've already said that. Keep up. But this week, we are going to be doing sort of seasonal. It's back, baby. We're relevant again. We're recording this on the day that the final episode of Dandadan, the second season, came out. We're so fucking back. We are so back. We are so back this season. But yeah, Dandadan Season 2 has dropped, and it is still as good as the original, or is it? Is the first season. We're going to talk about that and more. I think that both of us held the first season in really high esteem. It was a fun romp, and so, of course, the second season came out, and we had to talk about it. But speaking of things we got to talk about, if you like this podcast, please consider supporting us by going to patreon.com/AnimeBrothersPodcast and donating as little as $1 a month to get access to a super secret Discord channel in our Discord that you can join, even if you don't support us, as well as just the smug benefit of knowing you're helping a little tiny podcast that could do even more. And speaking of something, hey, if you want to read my blog, you can go to animemisery.com and read it, but actually you can't because some news is about to come up. We got a few things that we got to talk about. We got some news on the itinerary. It's 11 episodes till the big 300 Anime Brothers episode. We're going to do something for it. Haven't quite figured it out, but we're going to get there. We are going to get there. And speaking of things I said we're going to get there, here's what's going to happen if you visit animemisery.com, my blog, for the next few weeks. We are going to be hosting a vote. We are doing, if you listen to this podcast regularly, you know that we have recently started doing seasonal content again. I bring my buddy Grant on, and we review the season. We talk about seasonal impressions. It's fun. I like doing seasonal anime. Earthworm over there, he can't keep it up. The joints just aren't like they used to, and his dialysis is just not going so well. So we got Grant on, and Grant and I talk about seasonals. But we were thinking about, or Grant was thinking about, this is Grant's idea. I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm just saying this is his great idea. I think it's a great idea, at least. We're going to be allowing listeners to vote on a favorite anime, favorite OP, favorite ED, best boy and girl of each season, and it will tie into the seasonal episode. I think we're doing a preliminary, and then we're doing a secondary round. I'm not too sure myself. Grant literally told me, and I fucked it up already. But you'll be able to go to animemisery.com and vote on those, and they will play into our seasonal review episode. I think we might be doing a mini-sode where we actually reveal the results or something like that. I'm not too entirely sure. I have notes all written down, but I didn't pull them up. But you can go to animemisery.com for the next few weeks. I've changed the landing page, so it just immediately takes you to the voting. So you can vote on all of those things, like your favorite, like I said, mentioned before, your favorite anime, your favorite OP, ED, boy and girl of the summer 2025 season, and it'll come into play later. It'll be awesome. Speaking of that, the seasonal episode will be coming up real soon, so get excited for that. I love doing seasonal content. This season especially has been a dummy thick season with so many anime that I didn't even think I'd like, that I have walked away saying, damn, that was a good anime. So it's going to be a great time to hang out and check this podcast out. If you don't do it enough regularly, you could do it more with the seasonal episode. And speaking of seasonal, let's go ahead and just talk about today's subject. I'm fucking manic again, guys. The manic energy has been persisting in me. But as mentioned before, we were talking about Dandadan Season 2 this week. It is part of the summer 2025 season alongside, every other anime that we're going to be talking about in that seasonal episode. It's based off a manga published in Shonen Jump Plus by Yukinobu Tatsu. The first 3 episodes of the second season of Dandadan were released in theaters as Dandadan Evil Eye. I'm going to keep jumping between Dandadan and Dandadan. There's nothing you can do about it. I might even call it Dandadan at some point. At this current juncture, it sits at an 8.57 on my anime list, a 84% on Annie list, and an 8.3 on IMDb. The IMDb, of course, being the source where all weebs go to get their anime scores, I'm sure. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to hand you the talking stick because I've talked for too long. What were your first thoughts going into the second season?
No, I don't mean that you were like that. I couldn't get a word in edgewise, but you were just going, and I was just letting you go. So that was cool.
I've got the energy in me. Every time we've been doing the podcast for the past few weeks, I've been shaking it out and getting hyped as fuck to go on.
I'm happy, man. Someone's got to. I am mentally unwell. But Dandadan was fun. Going into season 2, I don't know, it's weird. Especially like how it starts. I guess this is like not pre-thoughts, but there's something I've been thinking about. Normally I'm against these kind of naming conventions for different chunks of like anime, but this really felt like a season 1 part 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it hops right into where you started. There's no like little buffer. It's like boom, here we are right in the middle of an encounter. I mean, if this was like a fucking tabletop game, like you are like we're picking up in the middle of an encounter, and we're starting off on season 2. So I thought that was kind of interesting how it was genuinely a season 2. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was. I heard nothing about it. I've been not had my ear on the ground as far as anything goes. So yeah, I didn't know if people liked it or hated it. I just going in, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. More Dandadan. More Dandadan. More Dandadan or Dandadan. But I was excited, we were going to cover it. I was like, you know me, like you said, I'm not a seasonal boy. I don't want to watch all the anime for the season.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we're doing this like day of, I'm cool with it, man. I like it. I'm happy. I not a moment was I like, oh man, I don't want to watch this because I love Dandadan. It's fucking great.
Yeah, if we could have found a way to shoehorn the dress up darling as well, that probably would have been like a 3-hour feature though, which I'm sure you would have been highly displeased about. But yeah, no, going into the second season, I kind of felt like it was a season 1 part 2 incident because you are just dropping in right after the first season where which there was some mild controversy, people saying like, oh, Dandadan back on its horny game because season 1 ended with Momo being cornered by the pails, and people I think were mild. Some people online were mildly upset by this because Dandadan is Dandadan. So immediately opening up into the second season, and it didn't feel like there was that long since we had seen the first season,
No, really, It was a quick turnaround, really. I mean, just going off of like it gets compared to Chainsaw Man, we got Chainsaw Man season 1 before Dandadan season 1, and here we are, still waiting.
Yeah, it's kind of insane that it's got to take that long for this whole
Real
thing.
quick,
Like,
just kind of tangent off of that. Did you feel like the animation wasn't as good as in season 1?
that is a good point you bring up. I actually did think the same thing.
Yeah, like there were some cuts that were fantastic. Like obviously, like Science Saru can fucking get it done, but I don't know. A lot like I see episode 21 specifically felt not didn't look great. It didn't feel great. And there were a couple of moments in other episodes, but that one specifically, that like I don't know, the easy way, like that episode was outsourced to Korea, but if any episode was, it was fucking that one.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest issues between season 1 and season 2 in the animation is season 1 is bombastic from the word go,
Yeah.
And this one, not to say that it doesn't immediately propel itself to the heights that season 1 did, because it does. I mean, they're fighting underground with a giant earthworm. Which, did you know that earthworm? Do you guys just like?
Yeah, no, cousins.
Oh,
yeah.
cousins. Okay.
Yeah, was not happy. Well, wasn't hyped to see what happened, but like I get it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
well,
okay.
Your cousin was being kind of a dick.
Look, I'm just saying, like he be chilling, and man's got to eat. So.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna say I don't really understand your people. I tried to get into your culture, I just didn't. I think you earthworms might be savages, but what are you gonna do about it?
Have you slithered through dirt? That usually gets the juices flowing.
I'm always slithering through dirt. I watch anime. Bada bing, bada boom.
Got him. Hell yeah.
Got him. God, why does it hurt every day? Anyways, yeah, no, season Yeah, the season one does start off kind of bombastic, like season one does. I do get what you're saying. I don't feel like I feel like season one started off with such stronger animation, and I definitely at the end when we get some of the final sequences, I definitely felt a shift as far as just style goes. Now, I
Yeah,
obviously I can't tell you anything about staff. I try to look up the staff for like key animation in between
sure.
animation
Yeah.
every time we do this to see what names have rotated, and I couldn't tell you which ones have changed. I can tell you that the director for this season, they've added a director. Gosh, what was his name? But he worked on the key animation for the first season. He did not work it for this season. I'm trying to pull his name up
Oh,
now.
okay. I mean,
I don't think
while you're looking,
Abel
no, go on.
Abel
Go on.
Gongora.
Okay, all right, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That they changed from being a director from the first season, or a key animator in the first season, to being just a director, according to my anime list. Now, does that mean anything? My anime list sometimes lies and sometimes
yeah.
doesn't give us all the information, but I am just telling you what I'm reading.
Sure, and I don't think all this is to say like, oh, the staff did worse necessarily. I think it's more to point out like, you had clearly more. I don't know, just if the quick turnaround. It's like, okay, I could have waited another year for this season if that's what it would have taken.
Hmm.
No, nobody's ever. I haven't heard stories about Science Saru, being like a shitty place to work comparatively to other places, but this feels like a Mappa move, you know what I mean? Like let's bust it out, fucking this shit's hot, we're trying to capitalize, so let's just try to get it out as soon as possible. Again, still haven't heard any stories about people being overworked or anything, but clearly the quality of animation did suffer. I'm not crying about it, just something I noticed.
Well, it could be that Science Saru is they're trying to put out more anime, I guess, maybe. They actually have another anime that's airing in the fall called Sanda or
Oh,
Sanda.
yeah.
So maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe they split the staff or had some people from one team go to another or something like that. That
Yeah.
could be a contributing factor. I have no evidence of it, but this is just me spitting out things. This is a hypothesis. It's a theory, an anime theory. Like and subscribe.
I tell you what, though, they got some of the animators from fucking Devilman to do some of these cuts, dude. I
Hmm.
swear, like I don't have any hard proof, but like the way that Okarun was running, when he kind of started to figure out his power, dude, that was straight up Devilman. Like
Mm.
not to the quite to the extent, I don't know that Yuasa popped in and did some key animations or whatever, but yeah, yeah, it was cool, man. I liked it. It like I love when the inspiration kind of stays in the building, as we've talked about. Guy and
Mm.
Axe, fucking Trigger, all that deal. So that was really cool to see. Like hell yeah, Science Saru did Devilman. Look at me, I know stuff.
Well, you bring up that's an interesting jumping off point. Is Gigi and his quote unquote devil man power, the evil eye.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I I was super excited to see more Gigi. Gigi was not one of my favorite things from the first season because he only showed up at like 2 episodes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I had Gigi for all of 2 minutes. I can't get attached to that. But then Gigi showed up and I said, "This is my man. I love him. If anybody hurts him, then I will kill them and then kill myself." Because me personally, I know that everybody, like even you, are like, Okaroon's a good boy. We love Okaroon. But I've been never the Okaroon. I've never been an Okaroon boy. Just like I've never been a grandma lover, you know?
Oh
Like
yeah, I guess that's fair.
there's several characters from this show that people I see on the internet are just head over heels for. Like even Momo, uh, people just love these characters, adore these characters. But I've not really reached that point where I could say, yeah, adore this character. They're one of my, they're one of my goats or anything like that. But Gigi, that's my guy. I love him.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. From what I heard, Gigi's a fan favorite from the manga readers.
Hmm.
No, I love all the characters. Just kind of not to be like, well, you're fucking wrong, but just to I like Okaroon. I see myself a lot in Okaroon, especially when he's sitting there going like, "Huh, this girl that's blushing and holding my hand clearly doesn't like me. Not like that. She's doing it out of I must have pressured her into it. This is my fault. Like,
Mhm.
I respect that. And yeah, Momo's straight waifu. Like we talked about it in season 1, but like 100%. Like I don't buy into the waifu culture nearly as hard as I used to. But when I see Momo, I'm like, my wife,
My wife,
my darling.
my darling. See, well, I guess we're just kind of bouncing around a little bit, but
Should we give a spoiler warning just in case?
oh yeah, all right, gang. Watch Dandadan season 2.
Yeah, it's on
'cause-
Crunchyroll. The dub it's simul dub. I got to watch the dub the whole way through. It's fucking great. I love it.
Wow, you
It's
filthy
beautiful.
fucking casual.
I'm so good.
You should have. I got to read the characters, so I think I know them more than you.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's why you thought I didn't notice the animation. You're looking at their knees the whole time.
shut the fuck up. Oh man, that's gonna be a meme I make to just piss people off. Like sub watchers be like, "Damn, this animation's so fire," and then the animation they see, and I just post the subtitles.
It's just feet.
It's just feet and knees. Damn, this show's so fire. Yeah. That is cool. I do love that we're living in a society where we get simul dubs like that. I've heard good things about the Dandadan dub. I've heard a lot of good things about Okarun's voice.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
and
It's all good. It's all good.
Mhm. Well, unfortunately, all I got is these Japanese voices that I can't discern quality from, and I gotta say, I like Gigi. I like Gigi's energy. I want to be a Gigi. You know, I'm trying to be a Gigi right now.
Ah.
I'm channeling him right now.
Yeah, he's a super cool character. He's like full of levity and whatnot. He's just chill. He's just a nice guy. Like genuinely, I love that. Most of these people in this anime are just good people. Like Ira, maybe not so much. Like she's a good person at heart, but she's kind of a bitch, And then Momo like has the capacity to be a bitch. But the dudes, our boys, are just like a couple of fucking good boys, man.
Yeah, it's like I said in the seasonal preview. You think that this show is going to be a love story about Momo and Okarun, and then Gigi's going to come in, and Ira's going to come in, and it's going to be like a love polyhexahedron, but it's actually a harem where everybody wants Okarun. That's what it is. This is a harem anime.
Oh, you're right, though. You're kind of right, yeah.
I mean, it is. Gigi wants to be friends with Okarun. Ira wants Okarun. Momo wants Okarun. The new character who pops out of the kaiju kisses Okarun. Turbo Granny wanted Okarun's balls. This is a harem anime, folks.
Oh, yeah. No, good call. Good call. Love Turbo Granny, dude. She's so great. I watched this with Kelly, and she was getting a kick out of Turbo Granny. Like, she hadn't seen season 1, so she's just like, what is this bitch's deal? I'm like, Turbo Granny would, first of all, her name's Turbo Granny, but she's a luck cat. We'll get into that later. Would absolutely murder everyone here. She simply does not have the power, so she's just kind of hanging out.
This is a very anime of anime. Well, who's that? That is a mantis shrimp alien. It comes from space. It's got to get cow milk to support its child who's operating the UFO. The UFO they gave it a cow, and Kelly's just sitting there going, "Damn, this anime is fuck."
Yeah, that's their blood. Their blood is dairy milk for some reason. It's so fucking stupid, dude.
And who's that young woman with the baseball bat? She's actually like 60.
Yeah, no, she literally was like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's Momo's grandma." She just kind of was quiet for like 10 seconds. She's like, "What?" Her? I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh man, Kelly just stares off into space.
And then she's like, "Not Turbo Granny?" I'm like, "No, Turbo Granny's just Turbo Granny." Keep up, Kelly.
Keep up, Kelly. This is Anime 102. You signed up for this course. You gotta stay with it.
I'm like, Turbo Granny's a grandma to all.
My granny never asked to fondle my balls, so it's probably for the better. Anyways, let's get off that topic. Which the characters easily make Dandadan what Dandadan is,
Oh yeah.
One of the things that, if we're going to talk about themes, if Kai is going to rub off on us and we're going to analyze everything critically now, one of the key themes about this season in particular is the formation of that family, which is great. I love the fact that at one point they said, we're going to welcome you into the family. You don't have to pay for ruining our house. You're part of the family. Because I was like, damn, this is what it is. This is a found family story. I love it. all these characters are so opposite, but they're working together. I love it, especially when we get to end and we get the new best character of Dandadan, Kenta, the Mecha Boy, the new best Dandadan character, and he gets
Yeah.
kind of part of the family. I said, "Oh man, you know a good found family story will get me. It always does." I had wiping a tear out of my eye. They're working together in that mecha. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that definitely big found family vibes. What I was kind of thinking about while watching this was like, you know how people say like Berserk is a shojo because of how it's written. Do you think Dandadan falls into that, or do you think it's still like because the old nomen fucking the old saying is like, you know, shonen the plot dictates the feelings, whereas shojo the feelings dictate the plot. And I don't know if it's just like a really feelings heavy kind of like shonen written, or if if I'm onto something. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, it is interesting that you bring that up, and I think you actually brought this up last week or last time we did this record.
Might have.
But how the mangaka Yukinobu Tatsu, their editor, they submitted something for Shonen Jump, and their editor said you need to read a lot of shoujo manga to get the emotional depth because you suck at it, buddy. And basically, his editor had him read over 100 shoujo manga so that he could actually improve his depiction of romance and all that.
Yeah.
And it shows because,
yeah.
like, you're right. You're bringing up a good point here. The romance element between Okarun and Momo could easily be its own story. You could carve that out. You could take a lot of the side characters out and just have it be about Okarun and Momo. And it would easily fall within the spectrum of being very shoujo-like, you know? It slowly progresses, and each small little inch forward, like them holding hands, feels like a mile as far as what we want to progress. So I feel like it would be as far as, well, I think it's published in Shonen Jump, so I can't say it's a shoujo. But it does have the spirit of a shoujo. It has the energy of shoujo storytelling, especially because that romance seems to be the critical element of Dandadan.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, cool, man. I'm glad I was vibing with that.
Yeah.
Another thing I've been thinking about is you brought it up earlier, the kind of like Dandadan's on its horny shit now or whatever. And look, I'm not a woman, so like take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I do appreciate how Momo is rarely just straight up damsel in distress. Like when she's put into a situation, like this one in particular. The what'd you say they were called? The Clears?
I was mocking them. I don't remember what they were called.
Fair. Well, I didn't know if we wanted to. Either way,
I mean, I'm not
pervy dudes in the onsen.
Good enough.
Like the anime immediately starts out with her beating the shit out of him, you know, and I appreciate that. It's not, you know, she doesn't have to sit there and get fucking licked and ogled or whatever. It's like, do we have to play in that realm of like fucking SA? I don't know, but when at least we're messing around in there, Momo still has agency. I appreciate that. Feels better than like, you know, Berserk, for example. Some of the shit that happens in Berserk, like it feels a lot better than that.
Yeah, I mean, at one point she does get weirdly, speaking of SA, that moment where she gets trapped by the evil eye in his little prison realm. I'm gonna call it prison realm, I guess.
Yeah, prison house realm thing.
Yeah, and she's like held up by her arms, but she still manages to spit hot water in his face. It's Momo is never, she's never stripped of her power, you know. She's never just left there. Neither one of them are like, talking about the female cast. They are never just the sum of their pretty parts, you know.
Yeah,
they are probably stronger in many regards than the other characters, because if we don't have Psycho, the grandmother, doing stuff, then they're not going to know what the fuck's going on. Shiratori, her powers, really cool. I don't think she does too much with them, but she's also a big part of the ensemble when she does show up. So yeah. I like that too. I just feel like, and again, this is season 1. I feel like people just saw that first episode and wanted to jump on ooh, this is terrible. This is some incel manga. This is an incel anime. But what can you do?
what can you do? You
You
know, you
can't
got to
please
see
the people.
see something that mildly upsets you and be like, well, I'm not even going to try to dig into this and see if there's anything behind it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe there is some sort of statement there of like, you know, my female characters get into these situations too, and look at them, they kick ass. I don't know.
Speaking of things that kick ass, I I am a huge Rumiko Takahashi fan, so I love the Ranma one half analogies with Gigi. I don't know if you caught it, but
No,
I was
no,
geeking
Ranma's a
out
big
when.
blind spot for me.
Okay, so at one point, Gigi, and you probably didn't even notice it because Gigi's so high energy. He starts
The
singing a
the
little tune. He's like,
water.
yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry. It just hit me. The one thing I know about Ranma is the water.
yeah. He is at one point when they're talking about his powers. He's going like, "Da, da, 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 da." That's the OP for Ranma.
That's so fun.
It's
Dandadan
so
seen so many anime.
Dandadan see more anime than you, and it wants you to know that. But yeah, it's so funny because when he started singing that OP, I said, "Oh, you know what you're doing. Okay, that tongue is so far in its cheek that it's peeking at you. It's peeking out the other side. I see you. That's cute." But I also really liked it because it was legitimately really funny. It's really tense when they're passing over the soy sauce, and you just see that drip miss, and it's like, okay, they're gonna subvert my expectations again, and then they don't, and the house just explodes. It was really funny. For all the action that wasn't there, I did find this season to be harder on the chuckles for me personally, and that may be
Yeah.
just because GG gets me going. But when the Exorcist or whatever show up, the ones that have that the song that ended up being stripped of from Spotify,
Oh yeah,
Hunting
yeah.
Souls or whatever. I don't know why, but those guys got me too. Especially like the three guys are all painted up, and the one guy who's just, yeah, I'm here. They couldn't get a guy who's, I didn't want to paint my face.
Yeah, he's the bassist, of course.
Yeah, he looks like a bassist.
But yeah, there was a lot of funny moments. Like I think that's why Kelly ended up kind of watching along with me, is because it was funny shit, dude. Like Jennifer Lopez Anaconda. That's funny. That's fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, honestly, that entire family was kind of funny just by how they're presented, but I feel like they were also supposed to be that way, you know. But then they got honestly, and that was one of the high points of this season was the choreography with those fights. But there
Yeah.
was not to get too off topic. There was a lot more funny in this series. The sequence where Shiratori is clearly sleeping on Okarun's back and Momo calls her out on it, that got me to actually do almost a spit take. The entire episode 11, episode 12 with the Buddha thing, the Buddha bot, in tears when they're all like, just press a button. Just press whatever button you want to. And Okarun goes shooting out. I I had to pause because I was chuckling so much at just rewinding and seeing him blast off from the Buddha while one of the arms and the wings falls off. It was sublimely funny.
Oh, that shit's great. No, what I love is like the absolute shenanigans of it, where it's like, all right, yeah, there's this legend about like this fucking giant thing saving us from a volcano or whatever. It's like, okay, but it ends up being the Mongolian death worm. Okay, well that's the real thing. All right, we killed this. This is what the legend was about. Whatever, like all taken care of. And then it turns out that it was actually saving them from the volcano. Like that shit fucking kills me, man. It's like, oh god damn it. Nothing can just be one thing with Dandadan. It's got to be 18 layers deep.
Absolutely. I mean, they were like 18 layers deep during that entire sequence as well, which was also pretty cool when they're rummaging through those old, like, a cool environment to play in like a video game where you're just descending into houses that have already been kind of Uzumaki'd. Because that's kind of what I was thinking during that entire process. Like, oh, this is like Uzumaki from not hit anime, Uzumaki.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Was my thought process at least. But Dandadan is, like you said, never content to just have one thing. It's always several things. It's not just the worm. It's the evil eye. It's the clear skinned people. It's the it's Turbo Granny and Okarun being trapped, and we don't know if they're going to get out alive. It's a lot of things. Dandadan juggles many balls, including golden ones.
Yeah.
and they're always funny. They're always funny. The maid cafe episode 2 was
Oh, that
also
was
just
so
funny.
sweet. That
It's
was so
really sweet.
sweet.
It was so cute. It was a very cute episode. Honestly, I'm saying that I wasn't too stoked on this season compared to season 1, but I think it's just because season 1 had a real zenith of an episode being with the dancer
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
That would be a banner episode for any anime, and it just solidified that Dandadan is that good to me. But there was no dancer episode in this season, really and truly. As much as I like the final episode because it's just a mech, it just Dandadan goes, "I'm a mecha now. What are you gonna do about it? Stop watching? You can't. It's the last episode. You gotta commit." Um, it just didn't reach that emotional heights that first season did. And I'm not saying that you have to have an episode where I cry or an episode where I'm in tears. I remember that episode and I remember having to just pause and bawl my eyes out and how lost in the tears I was because of that entire sequence. And there wasn't
Yeah.
an episode that's kind of just excited my emotions in the same way outside of just laughter. But
Yeah, I think that kind of ends up being the problem with like it's whatever, you got to split stuff into seasons, season 1 better than season 2, this that or the other thing. But, I think especially we're supposed to be looking at this as a whole. I think at the end of the day like we're supposed to be looking at Don like as a whole.
Mhm.
Kind of like a lot of prestige TV. Like I noticed it with the Yellow Jackets, and I won't get into any specifics, but like my favorite moment happened like early on in season 2, and it felt like a climax moment. It felt like a moment you could have ended a season on. But it's like they're telling this long story, and it's like okay, but the seasons are here strictly for a production standpoint, and I
Right.
think I yeah, it's whatever, and Mal perpetuates this because a lot of, especially nowadays, you got to put something, you can't just say, I liked Hunter x Hunter, it was a 9, you got to say, all right, well, I got to give Don season 1 a different score, or if I can score in season 2 a different score, and that makes you start to kind of weigh them, whereas it might just be, I like this arc better than this arc, kind of, but you wouldn't
Mhm.
look at it as like, man, they really let us down here, or something like that. Not that that's how you're looking at it. I just, you had that thought of like, I don't like this season as much as that season, even though it's not like they're kind of split arcs or whatever. If we were to look at this as like the beginning of Don to Don just as a whole, you'd be like, hell yeah. And it was all good, and it had that moment with the dancer.
Yeah, you actually are like, you're not looking at it like that way, but I'm kind of looking around like, kind of am looking at it like that way a little bit. But no, you're right. You're right. You talk about like prestige television and you looking at a show for the overall narrative. And if I had the full Don Don plate instead of just the Don Don, first course meal and the second course meal, I wouldn't go, man, I really liked the first course way more than the second course. If I just had it all on my plate, I could say, well, I liked this portion a little bit more on my plate, as not as much as this portion, but it's all good because I'd get it in one serving. But having it split into two makes me really think about the emotions I felt during the first season because I had to critically think about that first season when I was watching it, And now I'm in the second season and I'm comparing it to that first season because I like have concrete feelings I can look at and say, I felt sad during this event. I felt happy during this. But with just the second season and it being the only thing in my narrow view to focus on, I say, I laughed a lot more at this. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
Yeah.
But if we took it like prestige television and I got it as a whole, yeah, you're definitely right. It would be a lot easier to critically think about this as it had a high point, a climax episode. It had multiple highs and lows where more characters got built into the cast and we got more of a thorough like more of a sort of thorough story. And I think that would be cooler, but unfortunately, anime is a product and products have to come out on time, whether we
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens,
Mm.
It's like those crazy people who look at Lord of the Rings as just one 7-hour long movie.
Oh, those people. Those people I see.
We got to have that mindset of like, it's just, again, it was only production problems and we couldn't air a 7-hour movie in theaters. Other than that, it's just one big thing. Forget about it.
I have people that I've worked with in the past who go to those all three Lord of the Ring movie showings in one single sitting. To me, it's just, what do you do at some point? Like, what do you do at hour 5? Where do you go? I mean, okay, so here's a quick sidebar, right? Quick sidebar. So the Demon Slayer movie came out, yeah? It is
Okay,
currently out
yeah.
in theaters. It is 2.5 hours long.
Jesus, wow.
What am I gonna do during a 2.5 long Demon Slayer movie? Okay,
This is such a cash grab from Demon Slayer, dude. This is so pay us money, we know you will.
it's. I couldn't
We're
believe
getting
it.
3 of these? That's a whole season of anime, dude.
It's an absolute cash grab. You cannot convince me otherwise.
8.5 hours, dog. Like that's gotta be 12 episodes at least.
Demon Slayer is like, come see my movie. Okay, Demon Slayer, 2.5 hours long. No, Demon Slayer.
I love that. We're just on this fucking sidebar. We were all mad at Attack on Titan, and I haven't seen nearly the vitriol for Demon Slayer, and I just think that's because anybody who would get mad at that is just like, oh yeah, Demon Slayer movie's out. That's cool. There's not the passion.
Yeah, there's no anger. There's no righteous fury involved with the Demon Slayer fans. I mean, you can't even hate on it that well, because you can just say like, list an anime that's only carried by its animation, Demon Slayer, and they just go, yeah, dog, we know. What's up, big dog? We're aware.
I just like it.
Bro, I just want to watch pretty colors and eat popcorn. Why are you mad at me?
And I'm like, fuck me too, dog. Like, my brain hurts so bad.
Dog, I don't want to think, but then again, 2.5 hours. Couldn't believe it. I was in awe. Had to triple check, because there was no way if I go to see this movie, because I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it. It may not be today. Well, it's definitely not going to be today. I mean, it's with my bed schedule, no. But it may not be tomorrow. It may not even be the day after that. But if I go in for a 2.5 hour movie, people are gonna know. I am gonna post updates. It's like I'm going on an expedition to Mount Everest.
If I don't make it back, these are my coordinates.
This is the seat I always pick. Will it be the subbed or dubbed viewing? What the fuck do you think?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the sub. That way I can't see. That way I don't get to see the pretty colors. Okay, all right. But yeah, 2.5 hours. Couldn't believe it. Still in awe.
Wild, bro.
Wild. But that brings me to my point now, and that is that I really like Dandadan, and I think of the new things that are kind of in that Shonen Jump, spectrum. That's kind of, well, Shonen Jump spectrum, but things that are published within the pages or digital pages of Shonen Jump. I think I like Dandadan. I think it's like my second favorite, quote unquote, new age, anime series.
I like that it's doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Chainsaw Man. Like, from what Chainsaw Man is really pitching some fucking straight up nihilism to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more to it or whatever, but it's a much more dour look where, fucking Dandadan's just shenanigans, dude. It's just fun, and it's heart and it's romance. Like, that's, we were saying it earlier, but that it's so good. Just watching them hold hands, like the whole like creeping hand over and like touching, like that made my heart go doki doki, doki doki indeed, bro. And it's different, Where, and I love Chainsaw Man. I think it's great, and I love Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it's great. But Dandadan's just not trying to do that fucking new age dark edgy or whatever. It's got its things. It's a little bit more pervy. Maybe even not a little bit more, but still, it is pervy. But it's not.
Well, I mean, when you put it up against Chainsaw Man, like, no, homie, it's not pervy now, is it?
Honestly, like, and see, I think this has to do with Chainsaw Man being like that dark dour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a little bit more of a pass when you're teasing SA in something as bright and colorful and shenanigan filled as Dandadan. It's like, well, hold on a minute. What the fuck is going on here? Maybe I just missed the Chainsaw Man, but I don't know, like, especially considering Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen are, at least on the surface, very similar. It feels like they're kind of doing a very similar thing.
Mhm.
For Dandadan to be, I just see those three as very contemporary, and for it to be like, nah, fam, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it in a way that's kind of more real than a Demon Slayer, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and it's pulling it off. It's pulling it off. It's pulling off uniqueness, and that's something we need to see more of in all art, you know.
Well, like we're talking about the things that are kind of its not even competitors, but like compatriots in the modern anime scene. I think that Dandadan has a more optimistic soul than the other two, obviously, and that's not
Yeah,
just because they're thematically darker. Dandadan does dwell on some darker topics, obviously, just from season one, where you're talking about the rejection of your identity and having other people force their identity on you, like with Shiratori and her the demon that kind
yeah,
of says that you're my daughter and all that. And
yeah,
even in this season, we have some things that I feel like could be considered a little bit darker, but Dandadan handles them with such levity that you kind of don't think too hard about it. Like
yeah,
and I'm not trying to bounce around, but one of the themes that kind of got to me, at least, and why I like him so much, is Kenta, is his, and this is probably a core theme of Dandadan as a whole, is that Kenta learns to love himself and what makes him unique in that final episode. We see only so much of him. He comes around, he acts like a dork, and people are really rude to him because he's acting a dork and he loves Mecha. But his love of Mecha is what ends up saving him.
yeah.
His adoration and his acceptance of himself allows him to power that mech and allows him to withstand, getting sick from being tossed around, because he wanted to be this kind of person. He loved that he could indulge in this hobby. And all the other characters are in the same boat to some capacity. There might be a little bit stretch for more, but Gigi learns to kind of love the evil eye, which is now a part of himself,
Yeah.
and fulfill promises that he made to the evil eye and himself as well. And it's kind of a dark theme when you think about it, because a lot of people may have some identity issues, be it, being a trans person, being a person who might be in a more restricted household where they can't say, I don't like this, I'm not this kind of person. But Dandadan really being a show about self discovery and about finding out more about yourself, because, and it's even one of the things that, like, Okarum is only interested in aliens, but he ends up getting spiritual stuff, but he ends up getting, spiritual powers, and he kind of has to learn to love that part of him that is the Turbo Granny. And Momo is the same way. She at the beginning is, there's spirits all around you, aliens are stupid, and she gets psychic abilities. And she has to learn to kind of adapt to those abilities and use them and love herself and transform into the person that she can be. And I think I think the message of Dandadan, at least from what I'm reading into it, and maybe I'm reading too much into it because Kai's scent is still in this fucking podcast room, and I'm saying, like, yes, there's themes here. I'm gonna connect the dots and sound smart.
No, you're right though, man. There's something here. Like this has given me, not just because of the big mecha at the end with the sunglasses, but
Mhm.
that really solidified it. I feel like Gurren Lagann was a big inspiration for this, and maybe I'm just such a fanboy that it's like whatever. But the kind of the spirit, it carries through
Mhm.
to where, like, in Gurren Lagann, some tragic shit happens. We don't have to get into specifics, but like it's not all shenanigans and fucking big robots throwing other big robots. Like there's some heart-wrenching moments. There's some all is lost moments. But we
Mhm.
push through, we carry on, and we can still laugh and have a good time and be better and pierce the heavens with our drill.
Mhm.
And Dandadan's doing that, Whereas, like, yeah, you're right. Kenta, and then like the story behind the evil eye, that's goddamn tragic, just a
Mhm.
kid that's like being held and just pretty much starved to death until he's burnt by lava. That's
Mhm.
fucking awful, dude.
Mhm.
And while that shit exists, Dandadan never says, like, that is all the world is. Dandadan
Mhm.
never takes that pessimistic look of the world is nothing but this. It says, like, yeah, that was a thing, but then you have a guy like Gigi, and literally inhabiting a guy like Gigi, who doesn't have a hateful bone in his body, and is truly just trying to be happy dude and is doing a pretty good job at it. And like, if you don't have the kind of juxtaposition between the two of them being the human condition, like humans have the capacity to absolutely torture and murder and butcher, but we also have the capacity to love and to show support, and it's all there. It's all there, and I love that Dandadan's not going to shy away from either side. It's never going to take a side. It's going to go, fuck it, man. Look at how bad the acrobatic Silky was. But we're not gonna cry about it for the rest of our lives, because we can't do that. As people, we cannot do that. We must move on. We must carry on.
Yeah, well, it is kind of interesting because the evil eye residing into such a happy soul like Gigi could easily tie into the darkness that everybody has in them. Everybody, even kind of saying the message that even the happiest person has a fight that you're not aware of. And it kind of ties back into what I really love about Dandadan is that found family thing, because these are people who again have these evils in them. There's Gigi, who's got literally a spirit who, if he and again, actually, I do love the evil eye. The episode
so
with evil
He's
eye
just a child.
It's cool. It's so fucking funny.
He's just a child, bro. Like, literally, you gotta discipline him like that.
It was just so funny. Get down from there. No.
I'm done listening to you. I'm gonna do what I want now. He's throwing a tantrum, dude.
He's so throwing a tantrum, trying to get out of that mech, screaming, "Let me out!" And when he finally does get out, he gets stomped on by that kaiju. It was pretty funny. Like, this season was, in my humble opinion, it was leagues funnier than the first season.
Oh, the moment where the evil eye tosses Gigi's backpack and then starts running, and you're like, well, that's not going to come back and be a hilarious moment in 3 minutes. And then it fucking doinks the kaiju, bro.
I forgot about that completely because
it's so good.
It's so funny because I was bowling over at that when that happened too. This is a really funny season.
The non-compromise of using the evil eye at the end too. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, it was brought up and it was an easy solution, and it was like, well, no, there will be consequences to this, and then they found a solution otherwise. You don't get the Kenta. I don't know that you get the Kenta moment if the evil eye joins the fight. But then Kenta gets to pilot his mech. You get this creative solution, very, very JoJo's-esque.
I mean, yeah, that's a great point. I do like the Kenta moment, and I get where you would get the Gurren Lagann analogy as well. When it had the sunglasses on, I stared at that and I said, he's going to bring up Gurren Lagann.
I have to, man. Are there other mechs with straight up sunglasses? Probably.
Probably, but I can't think of them right now. It's going to be like, if we ever do a Nana review, going to be like, I'm getting Gurren Lagann vibes from Nana. You getting that from me? I don't know. This romance seems like it's got some hot-blooded youth in it, like Gurren Lagann.
I bet it fucking does, man. It's punk. It's punk. If Gurren Lagann is punk, right? If not that, then what is?
The Angel's Egg deleted scenes. Getting some Gurren Lagann vibes from Angel's Egg. You picking that up too, Matt?
I think this really inspired Gurren Lagann. Did Imaishi work on this? Imaishi's like fucking 7 years old.
You was watching Uma Musume's anime. Yo, yeah, kind of, definitely a lot of Gurren Lagann inspirations taken from this.
The way Special Week refuses to give up. Come on, man. Fighting spirit. Fighting spirit.
It would check out, though. Checks out completely.
Yeah, I'm a slut.
You're such a dirty slut, too.
If it's happy, Gurren Lagann. If it's sad, Evangelion. Oh my god.
No, I guess it's true. Anytime an anime is sad, get some Evangelion vibes from that. Somebody who listens to this episode for the first time is like, has bro seen more than 2 anime?
Honestly, it doesn't feel like it. No.
He's got all reliable opens up the case. This is a Gurren Lagann. Oh, if that doesn't work, I've got other all reliable. This is very Evangelion.
I'm gonna fucking
And
watch Astro Boy so I can just be an asshole and go, yeah, no, I think this was really inspired by Astro Boy. I think some of these techniques were pioneered by Astro Boy. And you're like, yes, it is an anime that was made after 1965.
we've been talked about your final form where you're like, oh, those two forms didn't work. Rips off shirt. There's just a giant tattoo of Yusuke Urameshi. This is my final form. This is very Yu Yu Hakusho inspired.
No, the only thing I've ever really thought that about was Hunter x Hunter. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yo, get some Yu Yu Hakusho vibes from Hunter x Hunter.
For real.
Did the authors know each other?
I didn't know, Matt. I was just like, wow, all these guys really remind me of Yu Yu Hakusho. This is great.
Did you say that on an episode?
Oh, no, Hunter x Hunter was before the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I don't know the lore. I haven't read the book yet.
I mean, I didn't watch like a billion anime before the podcast, but like the fact that I couldn't get enough of slutting out for Hunter x Hunter was like me being like, JD, we should let other people hear these conversations.
And then you got like 4 years in, you're like, I'm tired of people hearing these conversations.
You leave me alone. Beating them off with a stick.
I'm tired. You mean I gotta watch this shit every day? Get out of my house.
Every now and then, an anime like Dandadan comes along, and it's like, you know what? Maybe this anime stuff's all right.
There are temples everywhere for people who seek them out. For every people who have eyes, whatever the meme is.
Speaking of temples, how'd you feel about Temple Boy?
Oh, eyebrows guy?
Yeah, eyebrows.
His dick.
I thought he was cool when he came back. I like Deus Ex. We're here. I like Deus Ex Machina. Fucking like, aha! I know karate too. Like, yeah, you do, buddy. Everybody knew karate at one point, and it was just great.
Well, here's the thing: if you get eyebrows like that, you've got to know karate. It's like Rock Lee. You get eyebrows that thick, karate's just in your brain.
Yeah, you got a point, bro.
Have you ever seen a guy with big eyebrows who didn't know karate? No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I'm telling you right now. Big eyebrows equals master at karate.
I wonder what Jean-Claude Van Damme's eyebrows are looking like. More at 11.
I'm about to look up all celebrities with big eyebrows. Google wants me to look up something else. All right.
Yo,
okay.
Willem Dafoe, top of the list, baby.
What do you mean Taylor Swift has a 25-inch long dick? Wild.
The transvestigators are out again.
Eugene Levy definitely knows karate.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, he invented karate.
He did. He's old enough to invent karate. Zachary Quinto, karate master. That's all I got.
That's all we got. Yeah.
That's all I got. Emma Stone. Does Emma Stone have big eyebrows? I'm going to say yes.
Do she? I don't know.
Cher definitely knows karate.
She believes in life after love.
No. Are we funny? I hope we're funny. I think we're funny. I listen to these episodes sometimes. I go, damn, Matt, you're really killing it.
Yeah. We're our best audience.
We are our best audience. Every time we go to record, I say this is going to be the best episode ever. And 9 times out of 10, it is. That just makes it a problem because we keep making the best episode ever, and I don't know how much best we can make.
We're the capitalism of podcast. We demand more every time.
Yes, and we demand more from you, and we're going to give you less each time. I guess we're already kind of doing that. But what can you do? Talking about all these themes, it all comes back to the found family element that I love about Dandadan. And I'm glad because we're getting to a point in the show where the cast keeps growing bigger and bigger. And that childlike part of me who loves when you would watch Digimon or something, and then, Ken would join, you're like, oh, new Digidestined. Or Ash would get a new Pokemon, you're like, oh, new Pokemon.
New friend.
I love it. New friend. That's what I'm loving. I'm loving that we're getting new friends. Like Quinta's joined the family. He's got to join the family. I looked up on the Dandadan wiki to make sure he came back, so I know he joins the family.
Hell yeah.
Like, we got 5 people in the family. It's like the family Force 5. Hold up, wait a minute. Put a little love in it. I'm super excited to see the family grow. We got this kaiju lady as well. The kaiju lady. Speaking of which, let's talk about the ending real quick. We get all of that. We get the ending, and then Dandadan blue balls us again. You remember how the first season ended, where it's Momo's getting creeped on, and then we get this season where the alien girl pops out, and I said, "Oh my god, she's gonna kiss him. She's gonna starfire him. She is gonna starfire him. He's gonna be Robin, and Momo's gonna see, and then we're gonna have new drama." And that's what happened. Except, what did the show do? It said, "Season over.
Yep.
See you next year."
All done. All done. I love the visual of Momo exploding the house.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Like, obviously, like, that's a fucking that's a handsome cut. But like, yeah, I just what it says, like, it's nothing too deep, but like it manifests whatever you're feeling, and her having like not just a broken heart, but an exploded heart, like that fucking, it's so good, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a blue balls, but what a way to go out, like it did to leave people excited. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it did leave us excited. I said, I've got to see how girl reacts. So I opened up my Shonen Jump app that I never use but still pay money for and read the next few chapters.
Of course you did.
I did. I wanted to know, how did Momo react, because that's like the climax moment in the shoujo manga where the girl sees her beloved kissing another and she feels hurt and betrayed, but she doesn't understand what happened. She doesn't understand that her love was forced that kiss. She doesn't get it, Worm. It's Shakespearean in nature. Read a book. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all,
I
don't know how to
manual's
read.
a book.
I fall asleep when I read, Matt. I'm trying.
Gotta try harder. Gotta try harder.
I do.
Don't think you do.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, fuck, man. I think Momo's gonna handle it. I don't know. You already know. Why am I talking to you about this? I don't know. I like Momo. I love Momo. She's a bad bitch. She can handle this. They'll get over it. Okarune's only got love for Momo. I get it. But honestly, hot alien lady might be right up his alley. So who knows?
I mean, he literally is obsessed with aliens. That is a more compelling competitor for his love than Shiratori.
I mean, shit. When the thing opened up, I think I had a very similar reaction to everybody else, like to the characters in the anime. For a minute, I was like, "Damn."
I mean, yeah, it was kind of like, "Damn," as well.
Right? It's like, oh shit. And if I'm just gonna go relate it back to Gurren Lagann one more time, I mean, it's not like this is a Nia situation or whatever.
Oh my god, it's
Nia. Gurren Lagann invented that trope. So, I will not hear anything otherwise. Don't you dare come at me with a fucking... I don't want to know that other mecha exists, okay? Gunbuster, more like Funbuster. Get out of here.
Gundam, more like Fundam. Fundam, because you're blocking up all the fun because you're lame.
Gundams aren't even fucking real, dude. Shut up. Nerd.
Fucking nerd.
That's me with the Gurren Lagann shirt on, pushing the Gundam fan down. Fucking nerd. Go build your stupid little robots, you nerd. And I get on my motorcycle and drive off with 18 hot chicks.
You're like, yeah, I would Full Metal Panic if I had to watch mid-ass anime. Macross, more like Mados in a fine barbecue sauce like wings because I'm hungry.
Get her, Robo. Get her out of here.
Robotech, more like Robo Defect from watching this bullshit.
Yeah, no other mecha anime exists as far as I'm concerned. Or they're all bad. So take that.
I mean, I can't argue with him. I don't have a good counterpoint quite yet.
No,
There was a Pacific Rim reference in the in those last two episodes too, which I thought was neat. I was like, damn, I get that. This Pacific Rim. But I'm also brain dead where I think anytime I see something that's got big robots, I kind of go like, yeah, maybe that is Pacific Rim inspired. Code Geass, more like Code Geass. There you go. We can stop this bit now.
It's good. That's a good place to stand.
That's a good place to stand. Always leave them laughing. Always give them one more. Yeah, the ending though. Ending left me going, I have to see what happens to these characters. I have to see how Momo's going to handle this. Her man is kissing on some space slut. And she just blew up the house. You think about the housing. Think about the housing costs, Momo. Think about it. You ain't thinking about it. In America, that house would have cost $3 billion.
Oh my god.
And her plumbing wouldn't have been working.
Yeah. No, great ending. Great way to end it. I'm super excited. I'm so excited that I'm gonna forget what happened by the time season 3 comes out.
Which, who knows when that'll be. But season 3 was announced, so we've got that, and we at least got that.
Of course, I have no doubts. There was never a worry that like, oh, they're just gonna end Dandadan here. Like, no, they're not.
No. Dandadan was going to keep going regardless. So it's nice to know. It's nice to know that we'll get somewhere. I just wish they'd tell me when, because I don't want to read manga and then have to watch the anime because I'm going to be sitting there the entire time going, here's what's going to happen next. Oh, wow. But I also have to know how Momo is going to handle this alien harpy, this alien Jezebel. So, poo-poo on me because I'm probably going to read like a few chapters and then say, oh, well, he was pretty chill about it. But, how it go. It'd be that way. And speaking of good endings, let's have a good ending of this podcast. This podcast bit. And go ahead and do some final thoughts and feelings. You're feeling kind of like you got everything you want to talk about. I'm feeling like I kind of got everything I want to talk about. So you want to do final thoughts? Or
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think so. Final thoughts is cool, man. Cool. It was great. The Dandadan's continuing to kick ass as always. I loved the fight choreography in the beginning, like those first few episodes. Jennifer Lopez Anaconda, like all that was fantastic. Mongolian Deathworm kicks ass. The Evil Eye was a great addition. No notes really.
No notes.
I mean, no notes. Just my mild apprehension to give a long-running shonen a 10 out of 10 leaves this at a 9 out of 10, and Dandadan kicks ass, man. Like Momo's waifu, I don't know. I'm a little 14-year-old boy watching Inuyasha at night again.
Oh, man, I remember those days. I remember going into AOL Instant Messenger's role-playing Inuyasha.
I actually watched Inuyasha and said, I don't like this. Why isn't it Yu Yu Hakusho or Dragon Ball Z? But neither here nor there. Matt, what do you think?
We're living in a new America. Just revisionist history that. You loved Inuyasha since the first episode, right? Right. Okay.
Always have.
Always have. Yeah, so this season, obviously, we talked about it earlier. We need to look at it as a full plate instead of just 2 courses. I, unfortunately, looked at it as 2 courses. And, well, it started off kind of weak for me. There is some, like Worm said, good choreography in those first few episodes. Fun choreography, really. But I just wasn't hooked in, kind of hooked in from the word go. But then we got a little bit more and we got into more shenanigans. I kind of turned and I said, okay, Dandadan. You know what makes me smile. You know you're so funny. You're so wild. You're so wacky. I love it when you anime up your anime, Dandadan. You're so much fun. But, it never hit the highs that season 1 kind of did with some of the visual spectacular, the absolute just bombastic animation from that first season. So I kind of was never, by the end of it, I said, that was good. But if I had to pick and choose which part I would want to rewatch, it would definitely be the first part of the season 1 again, But that's not to say that I didn't have a good time. I had a great time with this. But at the same time, do I think it reached the heights of the first part? I don't think so. So I'm going to give it an 8. As a whole, if I just rated these first 2 seasons together, I'd probably give them a 9 just combined,
Yeah.
But 8 out of the sequence the 8 for the sequence in particular.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. We did it. Sorta Seasonal is back,
Sorta.
Sorta. Kinda. I mean, if somebody, Dress Up Darling hadn't just dug its heels in the dirt, maybe we could have done 2 and then been sort of kind of seasonal. I know you like Maureen, I think.
I do.
You do. Okay. I just, you know what? Everybody likes Maureen. My coworker at work likes Maureen. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why don't I like her? Am I contrarian? Am I
think
difficult? So. Okay. Well, thank you. This moment of self-discovery makes me think that we both need to go on journeys of self-discovery. We're going to go to the Guyana Highlands and we're going to practice our martial arts in the way of Pufu, which is where we use our bowels to fight enemies. It's called Pufu. Look it up. It's a real thing. But I don't know if we'll ever use this again. I think it might be a filler arc. Welcome to the filler arc. It's gonna be shorter this week because we did not do Patreon questions last week, so we're gonna have to do kind of a catch up on that. But that doesn't matter. We're narcissistic. We got to talk about ourselves in some capacity, you know. So we still got to do this, or otherwise we won't be settled. So speaking of settled, it seems you've settled on PlayStation Plus to play games. Tell us about it.
I remembered I had PlayStation Plus. I forgot I signed up for it when I moved in because I wanted to play old games, and I just haven't really used it. So in my desperate attempt to find something to stimulate me, I decided to start playing Ratchet and Clank. And I like Ratchet and Clank. It's fun, and I you know what, man? I think I'm gonna beat it this time. Maybe. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe. I'm already actually stuck in a level, but thank God the internet is what it is, and looking up a guide for a game from 2005 is like actually really easy.
And you know what? I can't believe that you have not added me as a friend on PlayStation, so you can see me playing my PlayStation hentai games.
I guess that's fair. No, I did realize that like my PlayStation Plus does not reflect onto my Discord at all. And I was like, wow, kind of like that. Discord is surveillance state bullshit. You never get a quiet moment, you know, God forbid. You just want to play your horse girls and not let people know that you've been doing it for 8 hours straight, you know, something like that.
But I need people to know that I'm binging through Kimito Idol Pretty Cure. I need them to know that, okay? They need to know what I'm doing every second of every day. At some point, Discord's going to be like, hey, buddy, can we have access to your appliances so that you just see the Rolling Star is using the shower? It's like, damn, finally he's taking a fucking shower, stinky-ass douchebag.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'll add you. It's fine. But yeah, I'm going to try to get my money's worth of PlayStation Plus. I've been trimming down so many subscriptions that it's like I have this until April, and then it's probably going to be gone. I can't imagine I'll renew this. So let's get my money's worth out of it now.
Absolutely. You got to cut down on the sub. Too many things now that are sub-based. I'm so tired of paying for Adobe just to use Premiere Pro. It's stupid.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. It's bad. I had to cut some Patreon subs too, which is a bummer. There's some horror podcasts that I really like the extra content, but it is what it is, man. Pulling up our fucking tighten our belts around here. But Matt, you've been doing stuff. What have you been doing?
All right. I'm really not gonna have a whole lot to talk about because I spent most of my week hanging out in Atlanta with with my beloved and with my beloved's friends who anyways, I got dehydrated from that. That's a cool story. I got dehydrated in a sauna and slept for 14 hours and woke up and got water and slept for another 14 hours. I basically got full on Dracula pilled.
You went into hibernation.
I did go into hibernation. It was pretty terrible. So if you're dehydrated, don't go into a sauna because you're going to come out even more dehydrated. Fun freaking fact. Things that I should have known already, but I had a fun time regardless. I hung out when we ate things, enjoyed the things we did. I reached like a point of nirvana when I was drinking a Turkish coffee because I had never had a good Turkish coffee before. And I said, you know what? Life is worth living, isn't it? There's such beauty in the world. Like this flavorful little cup of grounds. I think things will be okay. And then one of her friends said, can I have a sip? And then I was brought back to reality. Well, yeah, regardless of my poor decisions, I gotta say, this is the Anime Brothers podcast. He brings the brother playing video games that you're not allowed to play, and I bring the anime. And I've been watching Clevitas. By watching Clevitas, I mean like I knocked out 7 episodes in a day because it's the show that Grinth traded with me. He's watching Secrets of the Silent Witch, and I'm watching Clevitas. And we are basically the opposites because I gave him a fantasy show that's all about like soft, cute, fluffy world that's also got some danger in it. And then he gave me like berserk training wheels. And I'm into it because Clevitas has got some interesting world building. It's fantasy. It's not hard it's hard fantasy. It's hard fantasy as fuck. They're like, here's how magic works. Magic rocks. These rocks make you do magic. And only certain people can do the magic. And you can use the magic rocks for other things, but we're going to get into that later. And this is our main character. He's the Dark Beast King, and he wants to discover if humans are worth saving. So he's adopted a little child, and they're going off on an adventure. But in the end, he wants to basically put this child as a king and realize what value humanity has. And all the while, some pretty berserk things are happening in the background. If you see a woman on screen, be afraid that they will sexually assault her, because they might.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not joking about that. I'm not joking as in with saying that with levity, but I am saying that the amount of times I've seen a woman on screen for her to be assaulted in some way is reached a very high number. But I'm having a good time. It's a pretty fun watch. I'm enjoying it. At episode 7, I want to watch more and just knock it out because it is legitimately fun and an entertaining watch. So Clevitas, if you didn't check it out from summer 2025, here's your sign. I'm Jeff Foxworthy. This has been the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
yay!
Yeah. If we were the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, you would be the guy who was not Larry the Cable Guy and not the other guy. Bill Engvall. You'd be Bill Engvall.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you're very Bill Engvall coded.
Thanks. I don't know, man.
I like Bill Engvall. That's also something I had to watch a lot because of my father. But I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Go watch Clevitas. Wow, you really mastered Poo-Foo, Worm. You're so good at Poo-Foo. But I don't think we're going to use it again.
Probably not.
Probably not. Oh, well, speaking of fighting with shit, we got some Patreon questions. It's time for the Patreon rundown.
You need a rundown of your clients? Can you get that to me?
When did you need that rundown by?
You started on that rundown yet?
All right, it's the Patreon rundown. We have got a lot of questions to go through because, well, you know, that's what happens when you put things off for later. You got to get to them eventually. So we're just going to run through them. I am going through the way that we've pinned them. So if you asked a question first and it gets answered last, it is because that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And I'm very sorry. These are very crumbly cookies. Why do you get those cheap cookies, Worm? They're terrible. All right. First question comes from Charlock. Charlock asks, from the mangaka of Orb comes 100 meters in theaters October 10th. Will you be watching? Charlock, do you gotta ask? I fucking loved Orb. Yes, I'm gonna be in theaters when it comes out.
I probably will not. The likelihood of me seeing this in theaters is very low. Nothing against it. I just probably not going to have them.
I really liked Orb. Orb is probably going to be one of my anime of the year. I don't remember if it came out this year, but I watched it this year. It's going to be one of my anime of the year for sure. I loved it. So I will be. And I'm glad you informed me about this, Charlock, because I didn't even know about this. Thank you, Charlock. You get a gold star today. Don't get used to it. All right, next up, speaking of people who never get gold stars, it's Cappy K. Cappy K asks, each of you pick one fighter from anime and one wrestler from WWE. Each team faces the other in a tag team match. If the wrestler's kayfabe says they have some sort of powers, then they're really real in the fight. Okay. Who do you two choose?
Jesus. I don't know. I guess, I like Sabu. Sabu's really cool. He's kind of wild. Kind of crazy. Fucking... I just can't think of a good pairing for Sabu, who's an absolute maniac of an anime character. My brain is just mush.
Okay, buddy. We're gonna get through this, okay? I got my team. You wanna know who my team is?
Yeah, what do you got?
It's the baldy duo coming is Saitama and Steve Austin.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
that's hard to
I'm
beat.
winning.
No, almost definitely. Almost definitely. Damn, dude. Fuck it. Sabu and Hisoka, because that would be funny.
That would be funny. That's a good team up there. That's better than me with just going. I'm choosing the best two of both categories.
Yeah. No, you definitely beat me. 100%. But it's fine.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every single WWE game I've played, for some reason, Stone Cold's got ridiculously high stats.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he has that high stats as a human being. Although I do like his podcast. You ever listen to his podcast?
I tried to find it a while ago, but I just kept finding the old podcast, the Broken Skull sessions or something.
Yeah.
But they were all from 2016, or they were wicked old. But yeah, if you got a link, Spotify link, toss it over. Check it out.
I think I was listening to the old ones, but I still like it.
Hey, fair.
Yeah. Well. Speaking of things that are fair, Cappy K's got another question. What would you say is the difference between yaoi and boys' love, if there is a difference? And same for Yuri and girls' love.
I have no idea. Matt, you might have some. I don't have any experience. I don't know. I have no idea.
I've always had them interchangeable. honestly, I dated a Fujoshi for many years of my life, as you should fucking know, Cappy K. And I never saw them. I saw them interchangeable. As someone who likes Yuri and Girls Love when it's handled in a way that isn't like pornographic just for pornographic sake, interchangeable for me. So there's probably a difference if you're a more discerning palate, but I do not have a discerning palate, so I don't think there is.
Okay.
All right, next up we got a question from Alex. I chose this question because I'm just curious what your take is about what Mike Tyson's cursed energy would be. But Alex asks, would you rather fight Prime Iron Mike Tyson with cursed energy or Prime Bruce Little Dragon Lee with chakra?
So it's not even a joke. His cursed energy has something to do with pigeons. Like, it just does.
He's like, it's my... Why is my brain farting?
I don't know.
I forgot what the thing was called from JJK, and that's like my favorite shonen.
Domain expansion.
Yeah, this is my domain expansion. Pigeon time.
Impregnable.
It's impregnable. Now let me get nibble on that ear.
Oh man, yeah, that'd probably have something to do with pigeons. I don't know why. Like, it genuinely, like, Mike Tyson just hits you, and it's more devastating than any cursed energy I can think of.
He goes, and now I'm going to hit you with my cursed energy. And you're like, that wasn't with your cursed energy.
He just fucking punches you, dude. Like, oh my god. That man can throw a punch. Like, not he obviously he's like a 60-year-old man now, but like 25-year-old Mike Tyson? Jesus Christ.
I mean, I saw the gif of him hitting Mr. Beast so hard he knocked a personality into him.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, dude. You caught him with the half-assed fucking hook to the body and it was over.
He was like, good lord.
Which is fair. I wouldn't take it much better. Shit, man. Yeah. I guess. But both of these are going to kill me. But a single punch, I'd rather fight. I don't know. Fuck.
Well, here's my thing.
Yeah, if you got some insight, because they're both going to whoop my ass so bad. It's it doesn't even matter.
I have seen people with chakra get talked out of violence. I could talk no jutsu my way out of someone who's got chakra powers. I could be like, listen, Bruce, you don't want to be this way. We can talk about it. All that pain you had, you don't need to bring it out into this world. And he'll be like, you're right. You talk no jutsu me out of this fight. I have never seen anyone in JJK been talking to them only escalates the fight. And Mike Tyson already seems like he is not a person who likes to use his words. So I would just rather fight Bruce Lee. I could probably talk him down. Maybe.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if we're going with that logic, I guess I'll go Bruce Lee too. Because if they were to fight each other, like minus things, I feel like Mike Tyson would whoop the shit out of Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
It's a weight class thing mostly. Like they're both skilled. I'm not saying like, Bruce Lee's skill set would fuck Mike Tyson up, all things considered, but genuinely, like, we're talking 100 pounds on the man. There are weight classes for a reason. But yeah, not to say that Bruce Lee wasn't like a dope ass fighter or whatever, but
Okay. I get what you're saying.
I get it. We want the karate guy to beat up the boxing guy, but it doesn't work that way most of the time.
All right. Well, next up, we got a question from Booty Stank. Booty Stank asks, what if y'all, the hosts, got all of the Patreon names and tried to guess the origin of the names themselves? And we, the patrons, gave you a scale of 1 to 10 of how close you are. That sounds like some good bonus content, Booty Stank.
Yeah, could be. I don't think we'd get it right at all, but
But the guy named Booty Stank is asking us this. All right, I'm gonna guess this because you got farty farts.
I feel like Booty Stank's given his origin story before. I can't remember.
He has. I do think he has, actually.
Yeah,
it was a cool story. Unless, of course, it didn't happen. Then I'm just, Anyways, next up, I'm gonna skip that one, Alex. We all know that we're both gonna pick Haru Urara for your question.
Haru Urara is the best of all time.
Best of all time. Charlock asks, what was your favorite subject in school? JD's was history, apparently.
Same. Big history boy. Loved it.
Um, English boy, English lit. I loved
Yep.
reading. I loved the English language, despite not using it in a very practical sense in every single podcast episode. But I loved English. I loved reading. I loved studying literature. I thought I was going to do that for a living, and that did not turn out for my benefit. But if you wanted me to tell you the difference between sonnets, I could probably do that. I could cite you some sonnets if you wanted me to.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
No,
No, that does check out though. I wish I liked literature more in school. I would have learned a lot. Like me now would actually enjoy that, but a lot of the time I was a big like the fucking curtains are blue because they're blue kid, you know.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I also I just love reading. I still love reading to this day, except now I just read games where there's pictures of anime girls and sometimes they take their shirts off.
All art forms evolve.
They do. They do. And speaking of evolving, next up is Sightless. Sightless asks, if you could have one drink to be able to drink for the rest of your life, what would it be? Note, the drink only needs to be the primary ingredient. So if you choose milk, you could have chocolate milk, strawberry milk, but you couldn't go water with milk put in.
Water is the primary ingredient for almost all things that we drink. So water. And then I can still continue to live my life the exact same as I have.
Well, Sightless, I'm going to be actually cool and answer your question with a sense of spirit and humor. But if you gave me all the drinks that I ever drink in like a year-long period and I can only have one for the rest of my life, I'm going to go with coffee. I drink coffee so much. I can drink it when it's cold. I can drink it when it's hot. I can drink it when it's lukewarm. You can flavor it. You can make it any kind of flavor. I can wake up to it. I can fall asleep to it. I can do so many things with coffee. And if I didn't have coffee, I wouldn't be here where I am today, manic, because I just took out like a 24 ounce of Dutch Bros before we recorded this podcast. So, yeah.
Well, I have no whimsy left in my blood. I can also have coffee.
Okay. Well, thank you. I love it when you got whimsy. All right, we got here's Darth A. It's rare to see, but they have a great question. What's the best depiction of mental illness in any media? Do you think that anime tends to go a little overboard, like the extreme versions of anxiety that Bocchi and Komi portray? As someone who has bipolar disorder, it always rubs me the wrong way that they're always portrayed as super mentally unstable or as violent people.
Yeah, I get that. I don't hate the like overblown portrayals of things like anxiety. I think it's how it's managed, when a lot of media has the thing where it's like, oh, he's a bad guy because he's got split personalities or something, without really just like engaging in what that would actually mean for a fucking person. So I get that. I can't think of any off the top of my head that have really like nailed it as a whole, but there are a lot of little moments where I'm like, oh, I relate to that. Oh, I get that. But like as far as like a diagnosed mental illness, I can't. The only ones that are coming to mind would be like, the anxiety disorders that you've already brought up. I don't know, Matt, can you think of anything?
I don't know if this is exactly what they're looking for, but one of the movies that I didn't really appreciate until I came back to it after kind of having been diagnosed with like depression and being medicated myself was Garden State. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I've heard of it though. Zach Braff, yeah.
Yeah, Zach Braff, he's like really depressed. He's really like heavily medicated, and he's kind of just like he's seen a lot of shit. And but like his just languid sort of existence that he kind of has in Garden State really reminds me of like how I was when I first got put on medication and was staying on medication fairly consistently. I was just so just an existence for the sake of existence,
Yeah.
I had nothing but just I was just existing through life. And I can't say that my mental journey is going to be akin to anybody else's, but it was one of the few where I said, like, yeah, I get where Zach Braff is coming from in this. I'm definitely in the same vein. I've got I feel very much like I'm just passing through scenarios that happen in front of me. maybe I wouldn't underline or bold italics this as the best portrayal that I've ever seen, but Melancholia. I talk about
Oh,
this
okay.
movie
I want
every
to
now
watch
and
that
then.
so bad. Yeah.
We should do a movie review. Everybody's like, my anime brothers. I can't wait to see what anime they review. Melancholia review. Oh, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
3 listeners for that episode. Yeah, I get that. We'll do it. Fuck it.
Let's see Hong Kong train their AI on that episode.
Oh my god. No, to be honest, I didn't realize that Darth Egg had said in any media. I was kind of thinking from just an anime perspective. So I do have a little. So the Babadook. I don't know if it's mental illness necessarily, but it's like a mental state. You know, it touches on grief specifically, like depression and stuff that can come from grief, but unresolved grief. And I think The Babadook was a really good horror movie portrayal that was like really right on the nose. Like it doesn't leave much room for crazy interpretation. It's like this is what this is about. But I think that was done really well for that, you know, because it wasn't kind of left up to interpretation. It's like this is what we're fucking talking about. And then like Oyasumi Poon Poon. I've been seeing a lot of subreddit things come up for Oyasumi Poon Poon, and like I think that's a good portrayal of what can happen with unchecked mental illness. Like if you are, yeah, you know how mental illness can go from you're just a dude who's like, yeah, I'm pretty bummed, life sucks, whatever, to, you know, whatever happens at the end of Poon Poon. Might be a little exaggerated, but I mean, I think that's the point, you know, it's like if you can relate to Poon Poon as you're reading along through his coming uppins, then you should kind of take a step back and analyze yourself to see, are you headed down the path that Poon Poon headed down?
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those self-insert characters that isn't supposed to just be like, hey, look at me. He's supposed to make you, he's a self-insert character, but he's also a mirror. You're supposed to hold it up to yourself and be like, why do I relate to him? You know, don't be like, you know, I am Poon Poon and I'm proud. Be like, I'm Poon Poon and fuck, man, I need some help. I'm not doing great.
Please help me.
So yeah, those are probably, you know, one good example of like, this is what it is on the nose, and another example of like, this is endlessly interpretable, but like, use that to your own, you know, apply that to your own life. You know, if you're thinking like Poon Poon is, you know, maybe, you know, that's how I'm thinking about it, man. I'm like, shit, man, Poon Poon, real relatable now. I should probably talk to somebody, dude.
Well, we're going to talk about, I did an episode on this on Otaku Melancholy with Alex about social mental health in anime and all that. And it's going to be on the nose a little bit, but one anime that always comes back to me for like an anime that I think portrays some aspect of mental health, at least some issues you can have, is A Silent Voice, and about like social anxiety and about social isolation that causes you to withdraw on yourself and that causes you to be because the main character of that is at such a point that they struggle to look at certain people's faces, and it becomes a whole thing when he finally gets to love himself and see people and see the world around him. But that always reminds me of like one of the things I didn't get when I was like in high school, and why I couldn't sort of induct myself into other people's friend groups, and why I couldn't like intermingle with other people, is because I was socially anxious. I was afraid of being around people, and I didn't know. I just thought it was just kind of something that would always be a part of me. But no, then I get later, and I'm like, oh well, I'm socially anxious, you know, like. Like JD's like, hey Matt, here's a bunch of people you've never met. You're all going to be talking to them at once, and I'm like, ooh, we panic mode. I'm like, look at all these people I'm going to be playing volleyball with that I don't know. I'm going to cry. I am scared. Please, Earthworm, give me some help. But you know, and that's just I always found that to be a good representation of social anxiety, as well as just if you want some depression movies, you got Melancholia, and you got Garden State, which is about being depressed and being medicated to the point where you don't feel anything.
There you go. And just to cap this off, and I am so fucking sorry about this, but Neon Genesis Evangelion. We can move
reliable.
on now. Yep.
That's fair. Is that your?
I mean, if I had to pick, I guess, yeah. I mean, like, nothing. Evangelion looked at me and said, "You don't know what mental illness is, kid." I mean, you do, but you don't realize it. And I'm like, "Fuck you." And then at the end, I'm like, "Fuck you, you fat." So yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud that my entire fucking personality is based off of like 3 things, but it is. So here we are.
I mean, understandable. I'm staring into the abyss of Sonic the Hedgehog merchandise as I talk to you right now. So
Sonic the Hedgehog saved my life.
I've got that kind of autism, boys and girls. All right. Last question comes from Cream to Poof. How broken are your balls knowing Steel Ball Run is going to be a Netflix exclusive? Pretty broken. Balls are pretty broken.
I mean, look, I'm not surprised, you know. It sucks, but I don't know if I have the energy to be mad about something I love. I'm just excited to see Steel Ball Run, you know. I'll take it.
I can be angry about it though, because I watched part 5, the last chunk of part 5, and then went immediately into Stone Ocean and said, "Wow, this doesn't look as good. This doesn't feel as good. I don't think I like this." Which was a damn shame because I did like Jolene.
I didn't know you finished. Did you tell me you finished part 5? Did we talk about this?
I thought we did talk about this.
I didn't know we talked about it. You finished. I don't fucking remember, man. Cool.
I think.
Oh, we talked. I remember talking about part 6 because we talked about Jolene's introduction and how it's like, whoa, all right, Araki, fair enough.
Women like 2 things: masturbating in their homes and looking beautiful. And we were like, "Yeah, Rocky, you've seen a woman before, haven't you?" Yeah, no, I finished part 5, but I haven't finished part 6 yet. I got through the first core, as it were, and I was just not eager to start up the second core after the first one, which and I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like a terrible person and be like, "Oh, the girl JoJo made me stop wanting to watch JoJo." No, it's just I didn't really like Netflix's JoJo's. It felt very unpolished compared to the previous seasons, you know?
Yeah, it is different. For whatever reason, I can't put my finger on it, but it is different. Maybe unpolished is a good way to put it.
I would think unpolished would be the best term that I would use for it. It feels like there's a lot less in between animation. It feels like you're constantly just getting jumps to new scenes, and it doesn't feel like we're flowing well. It's doing things I don't like, but it's still a thrilling watch. You know, I still couldn't stop watching it once I put it on. But I'm excited to see Steel Ball Run animated because let's be honest, like I read Steel Ball Run the manga, and sometimes Araki be making a page that's hard to read. And
sometimes
I'd be looking at that page going, "Could you number the panels so I know where to go? I'm scared."
Oh yeah. No, I will say though, if they don't animate the mozzarella song, I'm not in.
That's true. If they don't do that, then David Productions,
fucking cowards.
All right,
fucking cowards. And you think like, oh, that's not important. That's fucking important. Okay, if you don't think that's important, then I'm just gonna say it. You don't get JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't think you do. I think if we don't have an entire episode dedicated, or at least an entire 15-minute part, just half episode dedicated on the perfect ratio and why that's so important, then you failed. You have failed. You have failed as an adaptation. You have not grasped what Steel Ball Run is about. All right.
It's true. I don't even know why it was important, but it was cool. All right. Fucking cool.
I'm looking you in the eyes, Netflix. I'm holding your hand, and I say, I know you're going to use CG horses. Don't lie to me. Don't say you're not. There's going to be so much CG horse on that screen, it's going to be like I'm playing Uma Musume. Okay? All right.
No, it's going to be fucking one of those things where like Valkyrie and all like the main characters' horses are animated, and then you see horses behind them, and they're just straight up fucking PS2 renderings.
Oh my God. Or they're just they're just going to do this thing where they're going to be still images.
Oh, yeah.
Alex posted the trailer, but I haven't watched it.
Well,
yeah.
Let's see what's good.
Let's see what's good.
Oh, it's very loud. It is very loud.
This is very loud.
All right,
Good
we're gonna live
Lord,
react here. We're
live
going
reaction.
through. We're going through the years in which the manga was published. We're up to 2011. Time is reset. We are 1890. It's just a okay, yeah. It's just literally still images when we get to the actual anime. It's not
wow.
even still images, Matt. It's the promotional image shown from like 2 different angles,
Yeah, okay. It's just okay, yeah.
and then half of it is the Netflix bong.
Well, Alex, if that trailer is any indicator, if that quote unquote trailer is any indicator, that's a solid 6 out of 10 anime.
Oh man, yeah, it better be better than that trailer, dude. Like the way it was just like still shot. Guess what? They're the same picture. It's like fuck you, right?
It's like, do you remember how part 6 ended? Yeah, we're still doing that.
Yeah. And if there's a difference between a teaser and a trailer, this was a teaser.
Yeah, calling that a trailer is saying like, yeah, I've got a convertible, and then they just show up with a golf cart that's got no roof on it. Like, yeah, I guess you can put some sheet metal and it converts, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Alex. That was the question of all time. Can't wait to see you back next week when you ask something like, would you rather, how do you feel about this trailer? And then it's just a picture that you've drawn of a horse. Anyway, that's cool. We love you, patrons. If you want to go and be a part of this, then go to patreon.com/AnimeBrothersPodcast. Donate as little as $1 a month. And you could find your question, quite possibly, answered by a very tired and eepy earthworm. It's worth that $1. But that's it for me. I'm fading away.
Oh yeah, here we go. Hi, I am your new spiritual guide, Earthworm, and I will be taking you out of... Well, I don't want to tell you where we are because it will make you sad. So, if you want more Anime Brothers podcast, join the Discord. That is where you can get in touch with us and hang out with us in our community in between episodes. If you really like the content, join the Patreon for $1 a month. You get into everything we do for patrons. Rate and review us on Apple and Spotify. Follow us on your preferred podcast platform. And go to animesery.com and check out Maddie's blog and also vote on these seasonal awards. Yay!
Yay!
But until all that good stuff, I have been Earthworm.
And I've been Matt.
And we've been the Anime Brothers Podcast. Goodbye, everyone.